Okay, you guys, we are going to take just a few moments and discuss about food and health and nutritional habits because so many of you have asked about like what do I need to change in regards to my eating habits to help me live a more health and fit life. So, we're going to go through the most common 3 different diets and also where you should start, where to begin. So, one of the first diets that we have is volume restricted. And this is you are restricting or limiting the amount of calories you are eating, or you are filling up your meals with low calorie foods such as cabbage and celery and cauliflower and broccoli, and restricting some of those higher calorie foods like avocados, peanut butters, maybe a cookie or a cupcake. Those foods that are considered bad in so many of society's kind of norms in today's life. This is probably one of the more common diets that I see among men and women in today's life because society for so long has said, eat less if you want to lose weight. Don't eat as much. And so often people put themselves in such large calorie deficits, 800 calories, 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories, 1,500 calories. And it is just not enough food for their body to sustain and to function. So what ends up happening is it becomes very, very difficult to build muscle and to get stronger and to achieve those goals that you might have in the gym, like toning up or even losing some of that body fat, because your muscle will not be able to build and to be created. It also takes a huge damper on your metabolism. So the less food that you are putting in your body, the less energy your body has in order to function just normally. Digestion, breathing, absorbing nutrients, transferring blood, all of those bodily functions that you have that require energy. The less food that you are eating, the less energy your body has to run. And so oftentimes you will see your metabolism drop. And that is why weight loss can actually become really difficult among people who are eating low calorie diets. You are in the constant state of hunger all the time. Maybe you chew gum. Maybe you drink water to fill up before a meal. Maybe you snack on really low calorie vegetables because that's your snack to tie you over till dinner. And oftentimes it's really easy to binge on the weekends. Or if you go out to eat with your family, you just have this constant state of inability to control yourself around certain foods because you've restricted yourself elsewhere. Certain diets that are common right now, Weight Watchers, Bernstein, South Beach, any of those diets in society that have really kind of pushed a low calorie diet or restricting certain foods and filling up on less calorically dense foods. Second diet is time restricted. And this is one that is in the media a lot right now, and over the past few years. It is eating within a specific time frame. The most common diet is intermittent fasting, and you can go on both ends. Some people have a really extreme version of this, and they are fasting for days. Most people have a less extreme version and they are eating for anywhere from 7 to 8 hours and then fasting for the remainder of that time. So a lot of people are like a 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. and then they don't eat after 7 p.m. and they don't eat before 10 a.m. There are some really great benefits to this in regards to hormone balance and bone density. Some people with intermittent fasting will completely take out a meal like breakfast or dinner, and they are really filling up on maybe 2 hugely calorically dense meals during their time window. So they might also be tracking calories and macros to make sure that they are getting enough food in that specific window. However, oftentimes people with intermittent fasting, and honestly, all of these diets really don't last very long because they realize one day they realize that it's 7 a.m. and they're starving, or maybe it's 9 p.m. and they have the midnight munchies because they didn't eat enough during their window. So oftentimes we see different types and stages of eating disorders like binging and purging. Maybe bulimia comes in. Maybe there just becomes a very unhealthy relationship with food if this is done incorrectly and without supervision with a nutritionist or a doctor, somebody helping you come up with the best plan for yourself. Third diet is macro restricted. So macros are your 3 food groups: carbs, fats, proteins. Those are your macronutrients. And when your macros are restricted, that's saying we don't eat one of these macros, but eat this food instead. So some of those different diets include keto, Atkins, vegan, vegetarian, paleo, stuff like that. So we're saying you aren't allowed to eat these foods, but eat these foods instead because these are better. The biggest one and most popular is that keto or low carb diet. People often think that going low carb is the best way to lose weight because carbs make you fat, but that is the total opposite. Instead, carbs are a great source of energy and sugars, and those energy and sugars that are provided in those carbohydrates contribute to proper bone density, proper muscle growth, cognitive function. For women, your hormone levels and your balancing of estrogen and testosterone, your fertility. For men, it has to do with your ability to regulate your testosterone, your sex drive. All of those are factors that are what's the word I'm looking for? They contribute to carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are benefited from those things. Wow, I just had a total brain fart there. So limiting a specific food group can often have detrimental effects in the long run in regards to bone density, cognitive function, hormone levels, sex drive, all of those things. So when in doubt, unless you are limiting a certain food group for medical reasons like celiacs, or maybe it's PCOS, or you're dealing with something and you have the approval of a registered physician or your doctor to make changes in that diet, I do not recommend limiting an entire food group in order to lose weight, build muscle, whatever your goal is. Because oftentimes, just like I said with the time restricted, it can often cause very small or significant eating disorders, bad relationships with food, shame, guilt. And in the long run, if you ask somebody and they say, hey, I did keto, it made me lose 5 pounds, or it made me lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. How long have you been doing it? Very rarely will they say, oh, I have been on keto like consistently and with confidence for 4 years. Oftentimes, people fall off the wagon in a very short time frame because it is an unrealistic expectation to completely eliminate a food group for an extended period of time. So what do you do? What I have found to be the most helpful for people who are trying to lose weight, build muscle, get stronger, tone up, is to start developing some sustainable nutritional habits that keep you good and keep you in this nice good zone of eating. So that means not restricting certain foods, not restricting your times, enjoying when your friend invites you out for coffee, having the cake at birthday parties. If you want a cookie at the end of the day, eat a cookie. Or if you're going out to dinner with your spouse, go out to dinner and enjoy food. By not restricting those foods, you are reducing the likelihood of developing that bad relationship in those eating disorder behaviors. However, if you do want to lose weight, oftentimes we may see somebody for a short period of time, so anywhere from 12 to 16 weeks, maybe use one of those diets possibly two, but very rarely will somebody use all three of those diets to lose weight or achieve their goals. But again, those diets are meant to be used in a short term way. We are not meant to be in a reduced calorie deficit for an extended period of time. Huge health detrimental health effects there when you do. So, biggest advice I can give you is one, have a nutritional consultation with myself or with a nutritionist to try to figure out what the best way is to help you kind of kickstart where you need to begin your nutritional health. But overall, developing some really good sustainable habits in regards to eating more fresh foods is going to be your best bet, but also eating a balanced amount of foods, nuts, seeds, fruits, meats, proteins, carbohydrates is the best bang for your buck. So 3 people that kind of had said things to me in the past that I've read that I think are some really good pieces of advice. So Greg Glassman said, eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch and no sugar. Keep intake to levels that will support your exercises, but not body fat. So the goal is to fuel your body to function. Michael Pollan said, eat food, but not too much and mostly plants. The best bang for your buck right there. We want to fill your foods with fresh vegetables and fruits and meats. And Rob Wolf, this last quote basically said, stick to the exterior of the grocery store. That's what your fresh produce is going to be. And unless you're going to the insides for things like coffee or cleaning products, the exterior of your grocery store is going to be the best spot to get the good foods for your nutritional habits. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. These are just very, very small snippets on different types of diets that people implement in order to lose weight, but how you should start possibly changing some of your eating habits up to get the best bang for your buck and benefit your body for your health and fitness needs.